Real Madrid have a dilemma on their hands after the injury in the pre-season friendly with Arsenal minutes and had scored as well. They've now got to work out what implications it has for the rest of the squad and their buying and selling in the window.
Yeah, well, clearly Asensio was somebody they thought they could get some money in. But clearly that's not going to happen, and that means that they will have to keep somebody else who they may wanted to get rid of. Of course, the first name that comes to mind is Gareth Bale. But the problem there is it's such a vast amount of money they're trying to offload that regardless of whether it was Asensio or Isco or anybody else getting injured, I don't think it changes the situation with Bale. There's too much money involved. They, come hell or high water, want this guy out the door. And unfortunately, the Asensio thing for me does not affect Gareth Bale's situation.
One player who it might have affected or might still affect is Dani Ceballos, right? His loan to Arsenal, ironically, who they were playing in the friendly that he gets injured in.
Yeah.
If Ceballos now has to stick around, if we're talking about Real Madrid, you said that the money for Bale is so much, and the move that they effectively want to make, we're led to believe, is Paul Pogba. So regardless of what happens with any of these players, you think that maybe Ceballos can still go because it's not him that they're relying on?
Listen, I think the fact that they've already told Ceballos that he can go kind of changes it. You know, if there had been nothing said about it, it would be very easy. The player would be still confident. He'd still want to be at Real Madrid. As a player, when you're told that you're not wanted, that's a blow. And the fact is that even though he's going out on loan, they're telling him right now you're not good enough. And so again, regardless of whether Asensio is injured, you've got a guy that you know is not good enough, then why would you not let him go and possibly get better? Because that's why they're loaning him. They're not selling him because they understand that he's got quality, but it's just not quite there yet for them. So that's why Ceballos is going on loan, and that's why, again, I don't think this injury to Asensio is going to affect the Ceballos deal.
It's a huge one for him, for the player himself, potentially missing the entire year. Maybe it won't work out to be that bad. We don't know the extent of the damage just yet. But for him, in what would have been, whether he leaves the club or whether he stays, it would have been a huge year. How much of a blow is it to him?
This could not have come at a worse time for him. You know, he found himself, 12 months ago in the team, and then all of a sudden, from winning a Champions League medal, he finds himself not in the plans. Again, if there was a player who may have gotten back in the plans, it would be him, because the likes of Bale, the likes of Isco are players who would bring in more money for Real Madrid, and so they would be happier to get rid of them rather than him.
Yes.
And he is still young, and again, he still has an upside. So, on a personal side for this guy, absolute disaster.
Okay, well, we never like to see big, impactful injuries, but that's exactly what is facing now Marco Asensio after his ACL injury against Arsenal. We'll see what implications it has for Real Madrid in the upcoming weeks.